Hey guys, welcome to another stream of the T-800. Plan on hopefully finishing it today. Not sure. I'm going to do my best. Left off on after stage 108, had one knot, 109 to 120 to go. Plan on, like I said, finishing it. You know, it's one of these things of it's getting there. It's just slow and going. So yesterday, you know, been busy. I planned on originally streaming this on hey Shu, and it's not a hate, it's a hat. Planned on streaming this on Wednesday, but things happened and I've been busy since then. And yesterday spent about 10 hours working on something new. My wife got this for me for my birthday. Didn't show up until Friday, and so yesterday I spent about 10 hours working on this, having a lot of fun with it, enjoying it. And if you can't, in case you don't know what it is, it says right there, Titanic. Morning, Leprechaun. Welcome to the stream. So, without further ado, let me switch cameras. And oh, by the way, I did switch the Logitech out that's been over the main bench for the longest time with the generic one that would cost $10 because it appears that the generic one has better focus abilities than the Logitech. So, let me switch. Thanks, Shu. I agree. It is cool. It is the same size as as the 1/200 scale Titanic. So, like I said, let me switch over. First, I'm going to let you see. There's the one that's always having trouble focusing. And the two Terminator right now, I was mentioned in the description of the video, the Terminator still has problems with two fingers. I've redone the ones that were really bad. This one has developed a really bad problem. I mean, you probably can't see the joint, but it's about to fall off. This one is still pretty bad. And instead of trying to do the super glue, which ends up drying too quick, and I can't get the screw in then and everything else, I've decided to use the JB Weld Loctite. So I'll be fixing those fingers off screen, and so hopefully that will take care of them for good. And now let's flip over to the main bench. And by the way, guys, the room, my office here, is a disaster. The Titanic is huge. So this is where we left off last time. I just finished this, and on the it was Phoenix who said to label these. This one is labeled as blue. You can't really read it. What I'm gonna do is it's got the step number. But what I'm gonna do, this is supposed to be a blue light. I'm just gonna do the tags on the blue lights, and the red lights I'm not gonna do any tags on. So let me get part 109, which was actually sitting over here between the Terminator's legs. And in part 109, there are just some plant-on details for the base, for this part of the base. Cleaned up. I don't know where my scalpel is. Actually, yes, I do. And funny thing, haven't replaced the second handle. Did not break the way the first one did almost immediately, but I figured out I don't need the scalpel handle to use the scalpels. It's nice, it lays flat, but an X-Acto holder works just as well, and the scalpel is still just as sharp. This is coming along. Short drop-in as the packing seems to never stop. Yeah, I completely understand that. It never stops. I mean, we've been in this house and we haven't fully for 3 years and haven't fully unpacked yet. We're unpacked enough to be living, and we never plan on moving, but never seems to stop. And it's a live stream. It's going to be there forever. On YouTube. Oh, and newest addition to the shop. This is an 18 by 36 mat. I think it's awesome because it fits perfectly on my workspace here. The wax paper is to keep spills, paint, whatever off the mat. It keeps the mat newer longer. Unfortunately, the mat stinks. I'm going to be straightforward with that. Mat stinks. It has lost a lot of the smell in the last 3 weeks that I've owned it. But one of the things I had was trying to get it to get rid of the stink. I had it sitting on top of the hot tub, and the hot tub doesn't all get hit by the sun all at the same time, so it's warped a little bit in a couple spots. You can see it right there, right here, slowly flattening back out. If I have to, I will do what I saw on the web and iron it. Somehow I'll get it fixed, but I like it. It also cut down on the glare a lot. This is still a little bit brighter than it should be, but it's better than that strip from the lights that I used to have. So, got a skull, got a pipe fitting here, and the next light, which I believe, no, it doesn't say which color it is. I'm thinking it's red. They didn't make it. They don't make it in pink. This is the only 18 by 36, and I searched because 18 by 24 would fit, except for I've got a power strip at the end of that is actually glued down to the bench surface. And so I couldn't go 18 by 24 because, is it done yet? Not yet. Well, it might have been Wednesday, but 18 by 24 would have to go under the power strip, which means I'd have to peel it up, maybe damage the butcher block. Didn't want to do that. That's what I'm planning on doing. And actually, I've got a heat gun. If it doesn't fully clear up, I'm going to hit it with my heat gun and then do exactly that. I actually set some weight on it here and here last night, and it is a lot better than it was yesterday. So it'll get there eventually. So let me flip the page. And oh, by the way, this is stage 110. It will be what's coming up next. That's kind of funny because I'm looking at stage 110, and that is where the skull goes, is on stage 110. So it looks like what it's going to have me do. And by the way, guys, no, I'm not going to cut on the brand new cutting mat. What I'm probably going to do eventually is get a smaller mat. This is just a regular X-Acto. I picked it up 7-8 years ago. Not sure where I picked it up, but it was just a acquisition, probably on Amazon. It says Techni Edge, so that's probably the company, but lots of companies make them. And then the blade is just a scalpel blade. It's made for the wider blades. I know they call it a cutting mat, but I want to keep it brand new as long as possible. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Oh, there, right in front of me. I do have a smaller, beat up, really in bad shape puzzle cutting mat. That will probably be where I cut stuff, or literally on the glass tabletop. Yeah, and that's where I think I got mine as well. More of whose meds? Mine? Actually, here's what, speaking of Amazon and deliveries, when I get my next delivery from Amazon, I will now have 5.5 bottles of Future. I will never run out of Future. Oh, actually, what you just heard, I realized what you were talking about, Chris. It's my phone just looking. My phone made a noise from a game. Matter of fact, just because I know you guys like to do that. There, no more Bing, no Bing from Discord. And I could have stopped at the 2 and had 3.5. It's just that I'm going to start using Future more and more. I did some, matter of fact, I've been working on this plane. It's Disney, and it's blowing the camera out because it's white. But bought it for my wife's birthday, which is next month. You just checked. Chris, there's still out, at least last night, there were still bottles available for $6.12. So you might check again, or let me know on Discord if you can't find it, and I'll see if I can find a link. But like I said, I bought this for my wife for her birthday because she loves Disney. This is the side that is not yet decaled. And this is the side that is decaled. And the decals are old. This model is about 15, 20 years old. And they are a little bit rough, but they laid down. I only had one spot that, on the main Disney decals that really blew up. But I sprayed Future on it, and I love the way the Future sprays. I've got a bottle or a airbrush specifically for Future. Hey, Marvel. Welcome. I didn't get a Discord ding. I turned off the Discord ding. But no, I love the way it's covering these decals. They're still bumpy a little bit, but it's a beautiful shine. See, this is bare plastic, no shine. And I don't think you can see the shine on this. But I love the way the Future lays it down. And I brushed it on the Ida Blue. Shame on me, because I got some build-up spots. I'm going to start airbrushing the Future all the time. I did not clear coat the decals before I applied them. I put them straight off of the sheet. Like I said, they actually had a couple of problems, but I let them soak. I literally will soak a decal for about 30 seconds, 10 to 30 seconds in the water, set it on a paper towel, put some additional water on top of it from a paintbrush, and then I will let it sit there for about 40 minutes until the decal is truly loose. I know I should have done the Future over top of them, but I noticed that because I've done that before, and when you do that, the film from the Future comes off and makes it a little bit harder to get them to separate. And I agree, Chris, that's a really good way to keep the iffy decals from screwing up. But I did something for the first time that I've never done. I copied them, and I have photo paper, I have decal paper. So if a decal, one of the Disney ones that I care about, actually screws up, I'll just reprint it. Several of the just generic, it's an airplane decals, the Japan Airlines and such, broke, didn't care, just removed them. So, got the light here, and it does not say, no, it does not say what color it is. It does say to do like it did last time and pull these wires behind like that so that they are in this gap here. It says this is exactly the same thing as I did on Tuesday for the other Searchlight. So I'm going to zip through it pretty quickly. Set the light in here, and didn't show that, I don't think. There's a square recess in there for the light to fit into. It falls out of there relatively easy. You need another hand at least to hold this together while building it. Okay, that popped in there. Actually, slide the, put the wire through back here. That's right. Phoenix mentioned that you could see the color of the LED in the LED. I'm using my cheaters because I'm old. I think it looks red, but I'm not positive. Regardless, I will put a flag on it too. Actually, I won't have to put a flag on it. It will tell me where to put it in the next issue, I'm sure. Hey, Kevin, welcome to the stream. I think it is. Okay. Yeah, Marvel, it looks, I think it is red. There's a really tiny red dot, I believe, in the center. So that goes on there like that. And of course, I did not get the screws out first. Only problem is I have nowhere to plug it into right now. I said I wasn't going to do that, and I just started cutting on the mat. Damn it! I don't want to scar this mat yet. And that's why I don't want to use, I also don't want to use this one while I'm streaming because it blows the camera away. I will eventually buy like a 6x8 cutting mat. So let me get this back in here where it belongs. No, by the way, chicks dig scars. Yeah, but not on your stuff. They dig scars on your arms, legs, face, things like that. Better than my finger. Hey, if you're not bleeding, you're not modeling. That's what I always think. So let me drop this screw down in here. And just like on Tuesday, once the first screw is in there, I can let it go because it's not going to come apart. Piece of cardboard to cut on, that would be a good idea. Let me see, do I have something within reach? Actually, I have something just as good. And I'm going to set it over here to the right where the tools are all piled up, because they don't have to be here. It is white as well, but it's also smaller, so it's not going to blow the camera away so bad. That's my tile that I used to cut photo etch on. A lot quicker, and it was a lot closer. Oh, and let me see. No, it's too far away. Chris, I got the those tank treads. I love them, but it's going to take about a year to put them together. Okay, so pop the lens in. And See, with a brand new scalpel, I love how sharp that thing is. Sharp enough to cut a finger off. Let me pop this in here. And you know, Phoenix, you're right. I don't know if I can get it to where, no, it's going to glare back too much. But through the lens, I can see the red dot in the center here. Hey, Dan, welcome to the stream. Okay, so pop this in just like last time. And in here, there's a screw hole on one side, a hole for a nut on the other side. And I've got a spare of both the screw and the nut. Actually, duh, I'm about to put this together wrong. Sit down with a drink and have at it. Just making sure. Okay. I was about to put this on here wrong. I forgot to run the wire through there. So I'm going to put a screw in here to hold it. Hold the screw from the other side. Drop the nut in here. Drop the nut inside of the light itself. Now that the nut's in there, I can pop the screw in here. And that's a little bit tighter than it needs to be. Want it tight to where it holds, but loose enough to where I can adjust it easily. It's going to stay tight. And that's the thing, is I'm not going to have to adjust it often. It should be adjusted once, and that's about it. Okay, and that's that light. Oh, by the way, guys, just a thought that just crossed my mind when I saw this. So I showed the Lego Titanic, the stern of it, no, not stern, the bow of it when I first started. I've got a light kit, and I'm going to do something I've never done before, is that the Lego, as I put the lights in, they have, the wires run through between the pieces and everything else, and they get pinched and everything. Actually, I've got one that's got a broken wire to it that I've got to fix. It's going to wear the wires out eventually, even if they never move. So on the Titanic and henceforth, I'm going to use this mini Dremel and these little drill bits to actually cut holes in the Lego so that the wires don't get pinched. Like I said, I just happened to look over and had a squirrel moment. So this pipe goes on, with the skull, goes on to this round spot right here. And it just, there's a keyway here, a slot here for the keyway. And make sure it goes in there the way it's supposed to. Yeah, it's actually hitting the keyway. And it just gets glued down. Spread super glue on the sides of the rib part. It says use a cocktail stick. Of course, I'm going to use my pin vise. My wife stole this glue from me. She didn't use it yet. I stole it back. Using this instead of the cheap stuff because it sets quicker and stronger. I've had some of the cheap stuff fail already on some parts of the Terminator. So it says to put some on the tab. And honestly, this just gluing the tab will probably hold it. But I'm going to spread some around the back as well. So let me slide this in here where it belongs. And not cut this wire off by pushing down on the base. And that is the end of stage 109. Need to move this completely out of the way because we're getting to big pieces. Get out stage 110. I'm going to move this part over here. I'm going to need this, going to need the light. Hey GB, welcome to the stream. How's your Sunday going? And just a thought, that's nice. I got an empty bag. I wonder what used to be in there, or if anything was supposed to be in there. Got a pipe here, another pipe, a spring. Willing to bet that one of those pipes was supposed to be inside the bag. So let me go ahead and cut open the spring. This is not going to work. I can't cut it open with a screwdriver. The spring is actually rusty. It's not painted, it's rusted. Got some screws with flanges on them. You know, the best possible thing would be to have a tile like this with a lip around it so that parts can't fall out. Okay, so a couple of pipes. Both of them have some sort of a keyway on them. This pipe, pretty sure, is going to go here. This one should go somewhere like, just like that. And then big keyway here for a little keyway there. Wait. That was the bonus edition. Yeah, the empty bag. Not a problem, GB. Was just curious. Thanks. And I'm sorry to hear that you're still not able to get out of the house. That sucks. So the first thing that's got me doing is taking this T part here and there. Using these flange screws on the bottom to attach these two together. Let's see, expert tip, you may find it helpful to grip the edges of the base parts together using a bulldog clip or similar. So let me see, this is, I have to figure out which way this goes. Okay, looking at the picture. Pictures are, damn it, almost ripped that wire off. So this one goes around like so. There's an opening, and I believe some sort of battery pack or something like that goes in here. Don't glue the skull down? Okay. Yep, that's what it says in step 9. Do not apply any glue. That's right. I think from watching World of Wayne, a switch or something goes in there. Would be more fun to glue it down and have to try and figure out how to get it back off. So if you look, that is actually really nicely together, almost no seam line. And from watching World of Wayne, I think it actually covers that well. If it doesn't, it's going to be a seam line. I'm not that concerned about it. Power switch is under it. That's right. Not a problem, GB. Like I said, I was just curious. It sucks you've been down for that long, though, man. So like it said, use a clamp to hold these together. And eventually, what's going to happen is there's one here, there's one here, one here, and I'm sure there's one on the other side here. Those are going to pull it together pretty well. So, oh, nice. That actually, I thought that was just screw holes, but these are actually lugs. This thing will drop down, and the holes on the silver part are actually over the plastic. Cool. And I actually think I've got some of that. Teaching somebody else how to stretch sprue. You did that 2 days ago, I think, with Eric. I think it was Friday. On his last live stream. Needed a update video today. That sprue that he stretched, in my opinion, looks fantastic. It actually looks like it's a weld rather than a defect. Now that's not going to work. I'm just checking the screwdriver heads because it's not letting me get it as tight as I'd like to. No, I don't think. Actually, no, it's good video. He did really good on he's doing really good on that tank. He's not done with it. He's not done with it. I was going to say by a long stretch of the imagination, but no, he's coming right along with it. Sorry guys, I'm over here checking other screwdrivers. That one is good. Is the magnetism still? It's still magnetic. Yay! Okay, that's being a little bit funky, so let me get it in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get them threaded with this one, and then I'm going to tighten them down with the other. By the way, Chris, I asked your question on Discord, never got an answer. The aftermarket tank treads. Hey Nat, how's it going? Glad to see you. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. But what I was saying, Chris, is the aftermarket tank treads that use the wire. The instructions say to cut the wire, all the pieces of wire, and then do it each one individually. I find it easier to cut the wire in place. What are your thoughts on that? Let me move this clamp, tighten these the rest of the way down. cut in place, less work. That's what I was thinking. So what I've been doing, and I started out doing 3 links and then tie them to the main piece. Problem is when I'm doing that, finding the correct third link to put the wire into is getting to be a pain in the behind. So I'm going to end up doing each one individually. I've managed to do 12 so far. That was only about an hour. Hopefully I will get better and it'll go faster. Let me see. That's solid. I'm looking. Enjoy your packing, Sci-Fi. So Shu said, hey, Lewis, but where is... I don't see Lewis. Oh, Lewis says hello from the bat. Hello, Lewis. So, yeah, it holds it together, but down here it's not held together. So let me get a smaller clamp just because I don't want that to flex and eventually break. So many clamps. But I also want it to be able to lay flush, so there. And there's that bump in the mat. Okay, so take 2 pipe details, identifying the recesses, already did that. Put some glue on it, stick it in, put some glue on it, stick it in. Do not glue the skull. Got it. No glue on the skull. And is it's still wet enough? Should be at least. Maybe. It's getting some glue on there. That's the only problem with setting the glue out like I do, is that when it comes time to actually glue something, may or may not still be liquid, may have dried out. But on the other hand, because it's thicker, when I put it in, it sticks pretty quickly. There's that hole there. Just leave that sitting. Excuse me. A little bit more glue. Unfortunately, that dries the glue out faster. I'm going to leave the top off so it doesn't inadvertently glue itself shut, which has happened with that bottle many times. That's why it now has a gaping opening rather than just a regular opening for glue. This, I'm putting a lot of glue on this. It doesn't really need that much. It could probably go with just being set in there, because once it's in place, it's not like I'm going to be playing with it. Got it, Chris. I will glue that down right away. There, it's glued down. This light goes in here. And let me pop this in here. Yeah, like the other one, it's probably going to be a little bit of a pain in the behind to get to go down. But this time I pinched it together. And you know what? Oops. Had to unglue the skull. No. just to keep those wires from running all over the place. I'm going to tape them down on the back side. Once the board's in here, they'll reach pretty close. I was going to use one single piece of tape, but it doesn't look like that's going to work. Careful, don't hurt it when you turn it over. And of course, I put the glue back in the tape back in the drawer to where I had to stretch to get it. And I dropped it, thrown it across the room. Tape it down here. What? To tape it down? You're right. Put the skull back on here. So flip this around to the angle that the picture's at. Take the spring, identify match where near the searchlight, rotate spring clockwise as indicated. The wider part will grip in the notch. Ah, nice. So set the spring in here, and you're supposed to rotate it, and it should grip. It did grip for a second. It said if necessary, use glue, but as long as I don't try to twang it too much. Look at that. No glue needed. Oh, love that movie. Forbidden Planet. Awesome movie. Makes sense. That makes sense, Marvel, but since I've already taped it down, I think I should be good. You know, I've taped them down, threw the skull around a little bit, banged it up. Well, guess the glue did not catch on that one. But yeah, between the clamp and the tape, should be okay. Let's see if I can get enough glue on here to actually have this piece stay where it's supposed to be. Maybe some on the bottom as well. This time I've got a liberal amount on there. That one's solid. This one here is solid. This one will be in a minute. And it says I can add a little bit of glue down here. I'll wait and see if that stays. I'm not going to add anything to it. If it starts popping out all the time, then I will. All right. Let me grab the other book and the last two lights, because that was the end of stage 110. Stage 111 are the next two lights. Let's see, check. One has a red spot in the center of the LED and a longer cable. Okay. See you, Dan. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good time with your friends and watching the basketball game. there's the lights. Nice. They've already assembled or partially assembled the searchlights on this, but not very well because I just pushed that lens down a little bit. That one as well. The two arms and the screws. Sorry, talking all the time is thirsty work. And I still have one more of these flange screws from attaching the H fitting. Excuse me. That sounds yummy, Chris. It really, really does. Whole bunch of screws. One decided to strike out on its own. So, uncoil these. And you can tell which one is the longer one. This one is way longer than this one. So it should be the one with the red dot in the middle. Say hello to Connor for me, Nat. Hopefully he's having a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to his next stream. And since you guys weren't here earlier, there you go, Connor. This is something you need to get someday. Not right away, it's quite expensive, but this is huge. This is the Titanic, the front end of it. I'm working on it. This is actually about 10 days of work yesterday. Hey, Lewis, welcome. So, one of my favorite ships of all time is the Titanic, and yeah, I can understand that, Lewis. It also has a light. I have a light kit for it, so I'm looking forward to doing that as well. Thing about the light kit is you have to put the entire thing together before you do any of the lights. And it was, like I said, that was about 10 hours yesterday. So back to this. Let me take a look. That one's clear. Oh yeah, that's the red dot. And the lead is much longer. Cool. Very cool. And Marvel, the one that I've got it from AliExpress. It's got lights, it's got sounds, it's got little lifeboats that you put out next to it. It was real before it was put on a live stream, Kaylin. Welcome, by the way, welcome to the stream. Okay, so again, it says to fold these over. I'm just glancing at the instructions really quick, making sure that there's no special instructions. I know, he made it out of bed, and it's only, oh, it's almost noon there. You know, Lewis, I have the 1-200 kit as well, the trumpeter kit. I just was stalled on it for a while. So while they were releasing this, sorry, squirrel, while they were releasing this, apparently they found an issue because on the other ones, this was open on both sides. On these ones, it's only open on one. So, what I was saying is I've got a bunch of aftermarket. I love doing Lego too. What I'm thinking about, I'm not going to stream the whole things because I do kits that, like the Titanic, have 9,000 pieces. But I need to do some update videos on them. I really, really do. Because it is really cool. Some of them, and most of them I have picked up lights. I've got some cars. I've got the BB-8. Up since 9. Watching a movie this morning. I need to get that one. That one's got that one's got what, about, I want to say 6,000 or 7,000 pieces. And I don't just do the full-size Legos. I do the tiny ones too. Those are a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. They're just as complex. And they're small when you're done. I actually slept in today. It was amazing. I have not slept in till 10 for years. That's why I started about an hour late today, is because my whole day was off by an hour. Let's see. No kids. How did I get away with that? Easy. They all grew up and moved away. 2,049 parts on the tumbler. That's not bad. Like I said, I probably need to get that eventually. I've also seen that they've got some smaller 1966 Batmobile kits out there. But that's a story for another day. Oh, there it is. No kids. So Lewis has no kids either. It's a story for another day. Makes people wonder. So yeah, I'm going to have to get some more. And they have, of the small ones, the smaller Legos, they have basically 1/350 scale ships. Probably going to have to get some of those eventually and light them. So based on what I'm seeing in the chat, we have quite a few Lego fans here. Would you guys be interested in seeing, not live streams because nobody wants to see me and listen to me moving Legos back and forth while I look for parts, but would you guys be interested in update? I have no kids, just a leak in the wallet. Yeah, there's that, Lewis. And you have kids. I've seen at least one of them. Caitlin must be a eunuch. Well, there you go. But, oops, almost lost that screw. Okay. Nat says she would love to see videos. I will do update videos. Some of them will be just videos of what I've already built, because I've got a few that are rebuilt. And when we moved from California, they ended up in boxes and they ended up falling apart. Some of them just weren't that well built in the first place. See, that's the thing. Shu, that is called editing. I don't know how to edit. That is live streams. They make good watching. Cool. Like I said, the live streams, maybe not live streams other than like a 5 or 10 minute live stream saying this is the progress on it. Don't know how to edit. I does not know how to edit. I don't do it. Can't make me. Won't be doing it. Because the only edits I do are like Eric did on his Panzer video today. He did it wasn't an edit so much as it was a jump cut. He was doing something he needed to switch to something else, or something came up in the background, and so he paused recording. And then he restarted recording, which is it's a jump cut. That kind of editing I do, editing on the go. I don't want to loosen this up too much. So there's the third light. And the fourth light, put the wire through here. Screwdriver wants to run away. So, Kaylin, you want a kid? Lewis is looking to be adopted. And Lewis, I can understand not being able to have kids. My wife and I have had this wrong. I had the opposite problem. That's why we ended up with 4. Together, she and I are very, very fertile. Don't do it, Lewis. He's going to take your stash. Come on. Oh, and Nat, on any video that I do for Legos, I will make sure that I keep my language civil for Connor so that he's able to watch them. Because I tend to have a potty mouth sometimes. And that is the end of stage 111. 112 has more base pieces. I literally have all the rest of this right behind me. Send him over with his stash. Told you were going to lose your stash there, Lewis. I don't know if you guys heard that in the background. Dogs just went outside. My wife, when she comes down with the dogs, they all make a lot of noise. They're awesome puppies. The largest one is 25, and that, those of you that have been on the channel for a while, Kalen's getting something for free. He'll take it. But those of you that have been on the channel for a while will know that we lost Charlie, or we actually had to put him down because he was getting really sick back in January. Missed the little guy. He was an awesome dog. He has to pay for this postage. I wonder if we could get a visa to live in the UK for adopting. I don't know. No, I've actually been to the UK only one time, spent a weekend there, catching a ride back from Middle East. Ended up becoming the troop commander and taking care of a kid that got alcohol poisoning, basically. Had no, wasn't in his unit or anything like that, but I got to babysit him on the way home. And when we got home, because the pilot was who called me, when we got home, the security forces came onto the plane before anybody could get off, and they arrested him. Yeah, he was an awesome dog. We had him for, let me think, 11 years. My wife is is coaching from the background. And he just had a lot of health problems. And he was actually the second dog that we've lost since we moved here. Lucy, our Cotton de Tuliar, was 19 when she passed. Hey, sweetheart.
Go to the store.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let the dogs in here, okay?
Yep. That was my darling wife. Lewis watches too many movies. Yeah, Lewis, there aren't very many cowboys anymore. That was my wife. She's leaving and putting dogs in here with me because we have my grandson's dog, and our dogs sometimes don't get along. And of course, he's got this huge Samoyed, so it's better to keep our dogs away from him. There is that. They might miss it. I don't know. Matt, you should ask him. Ask him if they're going to miss him. And now Murphy's looking at the door going, wait a minute, I can't get out. So this next one, there's a reason why to leave those lights off. You didn't tell me that, Marvel. Okay, let me move this out of the way because, let me see. I've got the tape on the, yeah, I can see the red dot in there. So it says to turn them over to put the T or H block in there. And there's a lot of cattle and horse ranches here in Siskiyou County. Can move to America. When Lewis can afford something like South Fork Ranch. So I'm looking at whether I'm going to take the searchlights back off because they stick up higher than anything else. But I think if I do this right, this should fit right here. I should be able to, and I'm pretty sly when it comes to this stuff. Clamp it like that. Now, before I do, let me show you guys on here. Again, spot for an H block matches the other side. So let me put this, I'm going to stand this up on end like this and see if I can do this without laying it over. I'm pretty sure I can. Because once I have the first screw in there, it shouldn't be that big a deal. Because right now, getting especially because it takes some pretty good effort to just get it to go in there. This should be a piece of cake. It's kind of funny they yeah, if you could afford that, Kaylin wants to move in with you. They could be storm chasers. You could dream. Okay, so don't need the other screwdriver this time. And this is working out just right. If I can find a flat spot on the bench. You guys are fortunate. If Andrea had told me that she was going to go to the store today, I would have gone with her. But I think it's not a big trip. I think she's just getting like bread and milk. We usually shop pretty big at the beginning of the month and then just stock up on minor things during the rest of the month. So actually, let me go back to something you said, Marvel. Did you just spray glue all over the top of the, or do glue all over the top of the base, or just in certain areas? Because I'm trying to figure out how to hide that seam. Yeah, he probably is. Or all the overtime that he normally does to go to the house is going to go into the puppies. And Leprechaun just said that he's going to, if anybody is not watching the chat, that Kenny's going to need another job to feed those puppies. Okay. Cool. So let me grab this. I'm going to take this with me. Grab another clamp to go on here. Let me make sure that I think I have what you're talking about. Let me see. I got rocks. Not putting rocks. I don't even remember how I ended up with this. So what you're saying, Marvel, airbrushed many of the details, bone parts, etc. Low flat spots, seams around details to cover gaps. Yes, please. Post a pic on Discord. But you're saying this stuff. Something like this, because it would blend in here really well. And I'm thinking I would have to do the whole thing. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah. It would be awesome to see the pic on Discord. So let me flip over real quick to Discord on the other screen. I think you said you were posting another pic over there earlier. Oh, that is beautiful. That is awesome. Love your Titanic marble. So the Titanic, just out of curiosity, when you separate it like that, do you have to, if you go any further, I take it you have to pull plugs apart, don't you? It is very epic. It is literally the same size as the 1/200 scale, the trumpeter Titanic. But I love Titanics, and so my wife got it for me. Okay. Where was I? I think it was right here. I understand what you're saying with the airbrushing and details and everything. Not sure how much I'm going to airbrush, especially since they're now attached. Let's see. Yeah, it says to clamp it. That's funny. They call them. Let's see, bulldog clamps in the States. We call them binder clamps. So the jaw bone goes right there. Okay, they've got the jawbone sitting here like this. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, I know the Titanic is designed to go together in 3 pieces, but I've got the jawbone sitting here like this, and I'm like, why would they put that teeth detail on there like that? And in actuality, it goes that way. No, Agora is not going to carry Diagostini kits because the Diagostini kits are going through Fan Home. They're completely different companies, which is why the Terminator, which was Hachette and is now Agora, is not on the Diagostini on Fan Home. But, you know, they're completely different companies. There's about 3 or 4 big kits or big companies out there. Wow, that is very nice. I'm guessing, did you airbrush those parts after they were on, or did you airbrush them before they were on? That is beautiful. And I see what you're saying with the glue, and there is one spot I can see where the seam is at, but not on top. I'm really thinking that's what I'm going to do, and unfortunately, most of my parts are already glued down, so I can't airbrush them. That looks, yeah, before you mounted. Well, that just means that if I want to do that, that's very cool. But it just means that, like, with the parts I'm gluing in, because I'm going to go ahead and glue this in. If I want to do that, what I have to do is some very judicious paint masking. I'm sure they will pop off. Maybe that's something for a later date. You guys know me. I'm simple on these part works. Mostly I just do them the way they came. And I see the model makeup. I have that stuff as well. The Tamiya weathering stuff. You did not paint these. Huh. So the question becomes, what color did you paint the bones? Let me guess. Bone. Yeah, it did. Well, and see, that's the thing is, once these are on, just cover up the lights. Yay! Pop the spring back out. Once everything's on, I can even pop the lights back out. Model Air Ivory. Okay. So an ivory color. I just realized one of the dogs somehow managed to open the door. And I've got buildup on my pin vise. Let me get my lighter. Or my torch, actually. And if anybody doesn't know this trick, if you're using something like this, it has to be metal for you to be able to do this. Cool. Appreciate it, Marvel. So if you, or I'm picking up that from Kaylin, your name is Todd, actually. But if you use something like this pin vise to do your super glue, when it starts to get buildup, just throw fire on it. It'll burn the glue off. So I'm just going to set these in here. I'm not going to glue either of them right now. And the spine, there are 3 holes. These 3 holes line up wait, let me see. I should read. Identify that's where the vertebrae fit. Fit the vertebrae in place now. Identify the recess. Okay, the vertebrae go in here. Not that way. Like so. They're actually not lining up on the holes yet. I mean, 3 of these look like really good, like they're pins. But the vertebrae do not fit down in there very easy. Oh, dopey me. I'm sitting here trying to put these down in there. It's actually these. Let's see. It is, I'll answer either. How would you use to create your websites? They're all run off multi-site WordPress. Yes, your web page is very awesome. So now that I realized what I was doing wrong, vertebrae fit in there like so. It says, oh, rock. Rock goes in here. Not gluing it down right now either. Glue the rock in place from stage 111. Thread the end of the cable. Interesting. It says to just do one of them. It doesn't tell you which one to plug in here. Which one of the LED can airbrush the rocks different colors once glued if you want to, and then cover the overspray with ballast. That's a good idea. Glue the rocks in. Glue the rocks in, that way they're not falling out like all the bone pieces are going to be. And my glue is mostly dry, so I'm going to have to might have to put a little bit more on here. Hopefully that'll be enough to make it stick. But if it's not, I'll fix it. Yeah, and I agree, because like there's several rocks, and I see what you're saying. You down here in all the recesses around the rocks is where you put the glue. And I'm just gonna toss a light in here because I'm gonna be switching them around the way I want them, even once they're done, just to have this done. And so Chris is going to be like, when we get done, if this is a done deal today, he's going to be like, yeah, it's done for you. Like he's done before. Let's see. Less loose parts to deal with. Okay, Lewis, have a good evening. Sleep well, because I know you get up like in an ungodly hour, like 1:30 in the morning to go to work. And have a great week, like Kaylin said. So that is the end of stage 112. Let me get 113. And it looks like, based on how things are going, I might be mostly finishing the model, and then today, having all the packs opened and put together, but doing finish work later, so Chris can pick on me about finished for me. Again, he likes that. Exactly. That's what I was looking for, Chris. It will be X-Wing done. Eventually there will be a finale video for the X-Wing. But most of the stuff that needs to be done still on the X-Wing, you can't do on a live stream. Well, I could, but you guys would sit there and go, really? Why? That's okay. I agree it's probably very worth it, Todd. And I have this thing called a yard that I can shake this stuff off in. Actually, I'll shake it off into a box too, so that I can re-add it as we go along. I'm just opening all the pieces parts. There's one more. Oops. There went the screwdriver. There went my white glue. One more flanged piece. Only problem with using pantyhose is I would have to buy some. My wife doesn't wear pantyhose. Or maybe you have some to spare you can send me, Chris. I don't have pantyhose either. Although, let me think. I'm just somehow or somewhere, I think I have a prescription bottle that's empty that I can use to store that stuff rather than trying to put it back into a bag. Okay, so we've got some car parts, it looks like a rock, couple of springs that hopefully will come apart easily. There we go. And the last part of the base. Of course, the base will be the first thing that has to go on there. So let me remove the spine, the skull, and the jawbone. Fits nicely. Have a rise right there. Hopefully that will, let's see. There are glue point or screw points here that are going to pull it together. Hang on, I'm catching up on that. Good idea. Kaylin has some used ones. Air Force not kidding anyone. Hey, I went from two pills and I was taking 2 pills plus vitamins of multivitamin and vitamin D a month and a half ago to 7 pills plus the multivitamin and vitamin D, in the last month. So, getting old. Spice shaker works great. Actually, you know what, Marvel? I have something even better. I think we have either one that's almost empty or empty Parmesan shaker. Kaylin knows about panic. I'm looking for. They all have serious run lines. Okay. Well, Kaylin. The truth comes out again. Get a couple more clamps. And see if I can lift this thing up without snapping it anywhere. I'm not sure. Yeah, you guys cannot see this because of the angle. There. Put a couple of clamps in there. One here maybe. One there if it's going to stay. Actually, before I put that one there, carefully rotate this. Don't mean to sound like a wimp. Man, that's hard on my shoulder. I must be getting old. So do you, okay. You know it from your grandfather about pantyhose. Very, very odd conversation. Got that screw on there. Almost. By the way, guys, just to let you know, this is awkward. I'm sure you realize based on the angle that it's kind of awkward. Come on. Get in there. There we go. Once I get the one from the other side in there, I'll move this clamp right here out of the way so I can finish those. Actually, I'll do that, and then I'm going to do the other H part up on the top there. And, oh yay, I am off screen with what I'm doing. I am sorry. So I just put 2 screws into this H block. What I was saying is I can now move that clamp out of the way. I'm going to rotate it one more. Excuse me. The last H block goes right here. And so, Phoenix, I'm guessing you worked around the lights because to get this thing to all flatten out and be good, I'm going to have to put the bottom on as well. I do not have the power mod for the T-800. What I'm going to do is for the T-800, for the power that goes in the base, which is, I think it's going to be some AAAs or AA's, I'm going to buy just like I did with the DeLorean, I'm going to buy a power supply that has the connector looks like a battery, and so when I put those in, I will have a wire that goes through into the base and stay. Have a wire that goes through into the base and holds everything together, or holds everything together and does the power, but it's going to cost me $15 rather than 50 or 60. Four C cells. For the base panel, yeah. I have a little bit of tea. It's just not very warm. But at the same time, I have water. The head takes AAA batteries. The power mod powers both. It powers both. So it runs a wire up the spine. Because that's the thing that irritates me the most about the head, is that it does not have a convenient way to hook it to house power. That mod, nice braided cable, runs up the back so it blends in. Okay, that mod I might have to get. Most of the power mods so far, it's one of these things that I've been able to just do it myself. I'll have to look and see on their website what they're doing, because I have bought other things from Model Mods as well. So that one can, whoops, that clamp can go. I'll have to get a little one in a second. And it's nothing against, it's a power switch in the head pushed to turn it on every time. That does suck. Or you just leave it on forever. Which, it's kind of funny because anytime that we have a thunderstorm here, my Millennium Falcon turns itself on. I got the mod for that for the engines from Falcon 3D Parts. Gus is really good and he's really user friendly. I had the strip of LEDs go out for one of the sides of the engine. He sent me a replacement free of charge. I had some problems with the X-Wing. He replaced those LEDs free of charge. I really appreciate what Gus does. And I might pick up his engine mod for the another X-Wing sometime. Yes, absolutely. Hang on. Models. Power switch in the head, and I'm not taking it apart to put it in there. Chloe is awesome. I've been following her for a while. You only get 5% off, but others can get 15% off. Something sounds fishy there, Kaylin. So went back and put clamps under here to hold that kind of center. And it is still popping up. I'm glad that that's got a metal base to finish it up. So now let me throw these things back on here just because. Wrong direction. Maybe that was the right direction. Hang on. There we go. That was the right direction. The skull. I have a rock. So that's on there. Catching up in the parts. Carefully turn it right side up. Replace the skull. See? I said to put the skull back. And then put these two engine parts base batteries have the hard power switch, save those C cells. Then you have the remote, which will kill the batteries when not in use, soft power on. Some people put a tiny slide switch in the remote to save the batteries. Why wouldn't you have one switch to turn the whole thing on? Because of engineers. Could also do that. Might do that after. I want to wait and see what the plates do when it's put on there or when they're on there. Okay, so this part is going to fit here. This, where is the hole for this one? Right here. So instead of using the pin vise method, took me a second there to remember what it was called. I'm just going to put the cheap super glue that I have on these parts. They're not coming back off if I decide, if, that's a big if I decide to do the things we're talking about with the base, then I will mask. But I'm leaving the bone pieces off because I want to at least make those look like they're bones. These are nice. It's just really thin glue. See you, Kaylin. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Okay, identify the recess base where the rock goes. The rock goes right there. Over top of this mechanical piece. That's going to be interesting to paint that rock if I decide to. Yeah, I'll be able to mask around that. Put some glue on this rock. Hold it down. Right now I'm looking. Holy. Oh, okay. Never mind. I was looking at a headline and I was like, what? So that should be let me send a real quick text. Just asking my wife to let me know right before she gets home, because then I'm going to get off and help her with the groceries and what have you. So one of these springs is going to go here. The other one, and it just sits in there or gets glued in there. Other one, looking, it's not jumping out at me where it goes. Fits between on the base section by the skull. So it's just kind of laying there. Actually, let me take a look, because there's the one by the jawbone. I'm actually looking at Phoenix's pictures online. There's the hole for the skull. Well, he's got it facing like that. Somewhere over here is where this spring goes. Kind of looks like he has it down like that instead. It kind of fits in there like that too. Let me see what the picture looks like in the next page. Nothing, just trying to figure out where the spring goes. So they've got that spring up there. figure out where it goes later. Okay, so on to stage 14. Not going to glue those springs down just yet. Maybe I'm not going to glue either of them down. Let me take the skull off, the spine. Rock is good and glued in place. Jawbone, make sure nothing is loose. That's a huge rock, by the way. Yep, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I may just put it somewhere like there, sticking straight up. So let me get part 14, or issue 114, sorry. And they're going to say, flip this mother over again. Let me look at something real quick here. Sorry, I'm responding to a text. Okay. Knocking details. See, spring can go into. Oh, you're just going to be flipping it over and around a bunch. Knocking details off is part of the ritual. Of course it is. While I'm thinking about it, let me pop that spring off too, because it's going to come off. As long as I don't, you know what? Okay, there it is. I wonder if I have the right lights in the right spot. Let's see. This is the one with the red dot. This is the one with red dot. So I actually have them crossed up. I have red, red, blue. So let me pop this back off of here. Wow. Windy day, door's open. Door was open. Actually, I don't think it matters where they're at. See you, Chris. Really don't think it matters. And you did all your stuff. I'm looking at your pictures right now, Todd. You did all your stuff before you closed it up. I'm thinking I'm going to close it up. And I'm going to put this light over here. It's going to mean I have the red and the blue crossed from each other. I'm okay with that. Yep, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Let me see. Can I bend those where they're not that badly in the way? And see if I can then snap them off. Crosshead base assembly. Hey, you need the base assembly to go with this. This is actually going to make a really nice little glue tray. So circuit board and some screws. Obviously, we're gonna. I'm sure you do, Todd. I think you've got one on your website. I'm like a, I'm the ultimate in having a squirrel distract me. I glance at people's stuff and then tend to be off on to the next thing. Very nice. I'm looking at it right now. You've got, okay. Very nice, Todd. I see how you did that. So, let me turn this over. That is the only problem with the wax paper. Yep, I saw the pic. Appreciate it. But that's the only problem right there. So I tend to rip it before I get anywhere. So let me take these loose. And let me see. That one's really close. Step 1, base section assembly. Carefully arrange base assembly upside down on your work surface. Use sections without damaging the details, because I'm going to torque down on this thing so hard that I'm going to break it. Yeah, this one here is going to be a problem. The really short one. Every other one works fine. This one, it looks like, is designed to be over here. I'd like... Actually, let me see. I do like the idea of crossing them up, and I can just switch these two. This one has to go in the far corner, though. Because this one is just too short. It'll reach the board, but be pinched. Come on. The other one came off so easy. There we go. So this will be red. Yeah, I gotta move all of them. The red one will go here. And sorry, I'm off camera, guys. I've wanted them crossed the entire time too. I completely agree with you, Todd. Easier to do this way because I can't see where those teeth are. Okay. Lay this back down over here. And it is literally laying on top of the lights. Nice. This red one, double check, red dot. This blue one can come out of here. Since I know which colors are which, I no longer have to have the flags. Was a good idea, but I don't need them. So blue here. Check again, red dot. here. And it looks like, I just looked at the clock, probably not going to finish this up today. So that's got those where I want them. This fits in here. Rotate one further. Right there like that. Break the circuit board. It's kind of funny, the pictures have theirs all coiled up in the corners. Making sure the base well supported from below, fix the circuit breaker in place with 4 screws, and then plug all this crap in. Sorry, I did not mean to say crap. A bad person. It says make sure it's supported from below, which means put my hand under there. You know, in my opinion, they should have provided the circuit board first or way earlier. Hey, Kenny, welcome. You're actually coming in pretty close to the end of the stream. Been going for about 2 hours, which is usually my normal on the part works. Working on the base right now, bottom of the base of the T-800. I'm not tightening these down really tight, just snug. Just snug enough to keep them in place. Matter of fact, I'm not even pushing down hard enough on that to even have to support the base. Yeah, I've been at, like I said, Kenny, I've been at this for about 2 hours. Identify, circled. Okay, so it says identify the 4 small circuits. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Or 4 small ports. And plug stuff in. And I'm willing to bet that there's no rhyme or reason as to which one has to go where. Other than move those, as long as they fit. Expert tip: properly supported when you plug in the connectors. 2 marked cables. It's kind of funny because they're saying these cables will be this color. Well, yeah, it's because it's the color of the LED. Make sure I've got this. I'm not going to try and work around here yet. This is where it's going to eventually line up or end up. Just looking to make sure I have this the right direction. There's the slots. It's one of the first times I've built one of these part works that doesn't have you test the lights first before you plug them in to the board. I'm just going to put this clamp back here again to hold this together. It's not, yeah, it will. I can put it there. It's not only holding it together, it's kind of keeping the wires in line. And this one, and of course, dopey me, I didn't pay attention to which way that one went in so that it was easier to line up, but this one should be perfect. Sorry, I was not looking at it. Plugs are specific. 2 are blue, 2 are for red. Whoa! Damn it. Nothing broke off. Okay, so red, blue. So red, blue. Red. Where have you been this whole time, Phoenix? I could have used you, or Todd. I could have used you on multiple other builds. Wow, that blue one is just barely long enough. You know what? I think this one is actually shorter than the other one. And I appreciate that. 14 different. How do you afford that, man? Are you independently wealthy? No, actually, these are the same length. So, never mind. Did the X-Wing. My aftermarket, and this is why Chris picks on me. My aftermarket, I still haven't powered. Still working on how to do that through the plug. So my X-Wing is done, but not done. And as soon as it gets done, it will go up on the wall. No kids, that helps. No kids and no wife. Because my wife would hurt. I've got no kids now too. I mean, you know, all our kids are grown. My wife would hurt me if I tried to do that many at one time. I mean, I've got 4 going, I think. Let me think. Well, I'm working on the Iron Man, working on the Ghostbuster car. Only got 3 going. I can check for sure because I actually track the way when they come in. I'm waiting on the Titanic from Agora. I can't see the chat, by the way, guys. Yeah, I've got 4. Enterprise D, Ghostbusters, Iron Man, and the London bus. Only 3 of which are being built at this point. London bus I'm not starting until I have all the pieces. Sure. I'm all about seeing pics of people's builds. Oh, there. I'm sitting here looking for this clank going, where the hell is it? I lose things on my models. So let me flip this over. And I will put all the goodies back on so that Kenny can see. There's the skull where the on-off switch is going to go. And Kenny, the bones are not glued on because I'm going to paint them this way. Never can tell which way this thing goes on. That one goes on there. There's the jaw. And then there's 3 springs. One has an impression here. One goes somewhere over here. Somewhere, anywhere on the model. I'm trying to remember where the first one went. Was it here? I've lost it. You've already got that Agora Titanic? I'm jealous. I'm going to do the Agora Titanic, but I'm not going to start it until I finish the what is it? The London bus, because I want to get the extra bonus looking. I don't remember where this one went. I want to get the the Agora Club, where they are going to give me the whole build for 5% off, because it's going to be my third build from them. I don't remember where this goes. I know there's a groove where it screws into. I'll find it later. Yeah, the site is up and ready, and I'm, like I said, I'm not gonna. X-Wing had a site I was building with X's son, and it was not up to my okay. Okay, so let me catch up with the chat. You don't have a site. Okay, those are the ones you have sites for. You're building Iron Man, the Ecto, DeLorean, New York Fire Department. I might get that one. I might not. Agora Titanic. Definitely going to get that one. Enterprise D, Mercedes, Nissan GTR, Dodge Charger. That's another one that's possible. DB5, R2D2 I've completed. Eleanor, and probably the Miura. Yeah, and built the X-Wing. You know, it's something you did, so I would post it regardless of if it's up to your standard. I am sure that people would love it. Man, I can't wait to get those panels on the back so that thing straightens out. I'm just looking at your pictures. Did you did all the detail or the fill and all the modifications before you put the back on? That's pretty cool. So, let's see, back to here. Okay. Been on exactly 2 hours now, 2 hours and 2 minutes. So a little bit different, changed up what I'm doing on Sunday. You know, decided to do the part work here because I want to get it done. I'm down to literally 6 parts of it, or 6 stages left. I'm on stage, just finished 114. I'm on stage 115 when I stream again on Tuesday. Completed builds are X-Wing, R2, Dodge, GTR, DB5. So that's the thing, is you don't have 14 going at once. You have 14 websites if they're done. Enterprise D, Ecto 1, Iron Man, Ladder 9. Still, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got one more going than I do. And like I said, I'm going to, because the Agora Pro Club or Elite, whatever it is, you know, I got the first part of the Route Master. I got that stage for free except for shipping. And the next stage is that I get 5% off, so I'm waiting before I buy the Titanic. Posted a picture of the X-Wing mounted. Nice. And that is that's the stand that they sell for $50. That is a nice little corner. That is awesome. And I see you've got some Legos. You got the Lego pirate ship. That is very cool. Nice setup there. I see that. The T-800 is done. So, yeah, looking forward to getting the Titanic eventually. So, appreciate you guys stopping by. Had a great time. Got a lot done. Very close to finishing the Terminator. And I am glad that this thing has specific mounts, because if the Terminator was just standing on this, it would flex this thing pretty well. Glad you guys were able to make it. Appreciate you coming by. And look for me to stream again on Tuesday, and hopefully I will finish up the Terminator on Tuesday. Thanks, Marvel. Catch you guys around the web. Have a great Sunday, and take care of yourselves out there.